All right, Shalom, Shalom, Akim. I'd like to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Baha, Rakah, Quadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elder bishops of the Great Millstone, GMS. Honors and salutations goes out to the Akim pushing this gospel, this good news, the world over in sincerity and in truth, in hopes it may edify and feed the elect lambs of Yahweh, Wah Yahweh Shai. Adawan Ratazah, which means Lord willing, so Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So yeah, man, okay, the spirit of war is certainly being administered onto these nations, man, through the Lord. Okay. So this is all Bible prophecy. Okay. You know, we're so close to the return of the Lord. All right. So this is an article, as you can see, from the NewYorkTimes.com. All right. And this was dated October the 17th, 2023. So it's a recent article, of course. All right. And as you can see, the headline says, Pentagon orders 2,000 more US troops to be ready to deploy to the Middle East. Okay, it says if deployed, they will likely not serve in combat roles, but would provide advice and medical support to Israeli forces. Officials said. Okay, and notice how it's Israeli. They can never call themselves Israelites because they're not the people of that land. All right, these 1948ers. Okay, so going into the article, it says Defense Secretary Lloyd J. Austin III has ordered about 2,000 more US troops to prepare to deploy to the Middle East in support of Israel, the Pentagon said on Tuesday, as Israeli forces prepare to launch a ground invasion of the Gaza Strip. The troops are currently stationed in the United States and other locations, including Europe. Pentagon officials said, if deployed, they would likely not serve in combat roles, the official said. Sabrina Singh, a Defense Department spokeswoman, said on Tuesday that the Pentagon had determined it needed to ready additional air defense security logistics, medical and intelligence specialists, but it had not yet identified specific units to increase their preparedness. The Pentagon said in a statement that while a decision on whether to deploy the forces had not been made, Mr. Austin's order to increase their readiness helps the Pentagon's ability to respond quickly to the evolving security environment in the Middle East, and that's in quotes. Okay. On Monday, a US official said that a US Marines Rapid Response Force consisting of about 2,000 Marines and sailors was sailing toward the eastern Mediterranean Sea. Mr. Austin also extended the deployment of the aircraft carrier Gerald R. Ford and its accompanying warships, now in the eastern Mediterranean Sea. The ships had been scheduled to return home next month after a 6-month deployment. A second carrier, the Dwight D. Eisenhower, is expected to arrive in the region in the next several days. Okay, yeah, and that's the whole gist of the article, really. Okay, so the Lord is gathering all these nations into the so-called Middle East. All right, this is what's happening. Okay, and yeah, man, it's all part of prophecy, man. Okay, so let's get some scriptures. Bear with me while it loads up. Let's get the book of Joel, chapter 3, and we'll start at the top. Okay, I think it's Joel chapter. That's Job. What am I on about? Joel chapter 3, verse 1. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. All right, and that's talking about both northern kingdom and southern kingdom of Israel. Okay, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of, and it says there, Jehoshaphat. All right, but it's really the valley of Yehoshaphat, meaning Yahweh's judgment. Okay, there's no J in the ancient Hebrew. All right, and will plead, meaning judge, with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Okay, so you see, this is why the Most High is doing the things that he's, these things that he's doing. All right, because beginning with Esau, Edom, the so-called white nation, on down to the rest of these other heathen nations, they all had a part in our downfall, and they all had us in captivity. Okay, to this day, they take advantage of us. They do cruel and inhumane things to us. Okay, so the Heavenly Father is gathering these nations in the Levant. Why? So that he can ultimately judge them. All right. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 49. Go to verse 20. And it says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Adawan Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he had purposed against the inhabitants of Teman." Right, and the Temanites today, one of the tribes of Esau, and they go back to the so-called Germans, okay, who are like considered the wisest, right, of the Edomite nation, okay. And it says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." Okay, so the most insignificant people on this earth, all right, which are those small hats living in the statehood of Israel, they are a hated, they are a despised group of people. Reason being, well, is all the chaos that they cause, right? All right, and when you point out these things, they like to, label you as, anti-SEM. Okay, they like to throw that card at you. All right, when you criticize their actions, all of a sudden you're this or you're that. Okay, and then that justifies them doing all the wrong things that they're doing. Okay, and really, the anti-Sem, word is a made-up term. Okay, it's a made-up term because really it should be the word Sem. It should be Shem. Okay, because guess what? These small hatters, all right, and them so-called Palestinians, right? They come out of the line of Shem. Okay, and we do too as Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native and Seminole Indians, West Indians and Haitians, and the Israelite foreign and speckled birds. When we all come out the line of Shem. All right, but through that line, all right, the nation of Israel, all right, was the chosen seed. Okay, so it's actually not Sem, it's Shem. Okay, and how can we be against ourselves? Okay, when we're Shemitic. Okay, so these devils are in the power seat right now. Okay, so the least of the flock are those JJs, man, which will draw these nations ultimately into the battle of Armageddon, man, World War III. And this is all Yapa. This is all Yapa, man. Beautiful. All this is biblical prophecy, man, and we're looking forward to this because this confirms that salvation for us is near, man. It's close, and Lord willing, we're part of the elect. Okay. So, Revelation chapter 9 verse 12, and it says, "One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more after." Right, and that one woe, or that first woe, was World War One. Okay, and that's already passed, of course. Right, of course we had World War Two, from 1939 to 1945. Okay, and up and coming World War Three. Okay, that's about to take place. All right. Let's get Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, man." So that's it. We see these things, man. Okay, and they will and must come to pass. Okay. There's wars and rumors of wars, man. Okay, and that's what Yahushua said. All right. And the word rumor, okay, that goes back to the old French word rumeur. All right, and then that goes back to the Latin rumor, which means noise. Okay. And all these conflicts in these different nations, man. All you're hearing is noise. Okay. You got Taiwan and China. Okay. You got some discrepancies going on with them. Of course, you know about the Ukraine and Russia situation. All right. And then what's taking place in the Middle East right now. You see, so plenty of things are going on. Plenty of things are happening. Okay. So that's what Yahushua mentioned, man. Okay. Wars and rumors of wars, man. Okay. He mentioned several things before his second return as well, man. Okay. He also said all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, man. You see? So these are just the beginning of sorrows, man. Okay. This is just a start because, major judgment is coming to the earth. All right. Second Edra says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, and woe meaning destruction. Okay. Remember, this is the will of the Lord. All right. So a horrific judgment is coming to Mystery Babylon, aka America. Okay. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 51 and get verse 46. And it says, "And lest your heart faint, and you fear for the rumour that shall be heard in the land, a rumour shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumour, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler." Okay. And right now, the nation of Edom there divided against itself. Okay, Russia against America. So that's Satan's kingdom, man. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, man. So Satan's divided against himself, man. Okay, and there's constant more information in the news, regarding in military news, regarding conflicts and rumors of wars and you know nation crossing into other nations' airspace and things like that. You know, we're constantly warning our people of this, man. And there's gonna be turmoil in America, okay? Right, because civil war's coming to America too. You know, so it's gonna be ruler against ruler, man. All right, America ain't gonna go on for forever. You know. So let's go back to Joel chapter 2. For the first time, because I think I was on chapter 3. So Joel chapter 2, verse 20 reads, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savour shall come up, because he hath done great things." Okay, and that northern army represents the American troops. Okay, and that's going into the terrible deaths that they will face. Okay, because let's face it, man, these American soldiers, they're not coming back home. All right, this isn't happy days. All right, World War III will be the war to end all wars. All right, so these American troops, they ain't going to return home and live that American dream, that lavish lifestyle with their nice big fancy house and fancy car and things like that. Nope, not no go so. All right, that's over with. All right, that's done. Okay, they did that back in the past, back in them days when America was a lot stronger. All right, but those days are over now. Okay, scriptures talk about the soldiers being foreborn to fight. All right, that's right. Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 30. "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes. Their might have failed. They have become as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken, man." That's right, man. Okay, and these soldiers' morale are low, man. Okay, there's LGBTQ persons within the army. All right, and on top of that, nobody's even looking to sign up for the American army anyway. All right, their minds are heavily focused on folly and TikTok and social media and other foolishness. All right, their minds are not even prepared nor built for war. Okay, they certainly become as women. All right, so the Most High, man, he has an expiration date on America, all right, which is fast approaching. Right, this evil kingdom, queendom rather, will be done away with, and then the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will rule for eternity. All right, the kingdom of Israel. Okay, which scriptures talk about, a world without end, meaning an age without end. Okay, so that's what's coming, and that's what we're looking forward to. Okay, this current kingdom was only for a season. It was only meant to last for a season. It wasn't built to last forever. All right, and that time is almost up, like I said. Okay, let's get Isaiah chapter 13. We can start from the top, first verse. All right. "The burden," which means destruction, by the way, "of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see," right? And this ain't talking about ancient Babylon, okay, where Iraq, that's where Iraq is today, and of course the civilizations and people living there, right? Okay, so this is talking about future Babylon, which is America. All right, that's the modern day Babylon, okay, not ancient Babylon. So verse 2 says, "Lift you up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles." Okay, and the banner represents the whole of the Bible, all right, this knowledge and this truth, if you will. Okay, and the high mountain is talking about America, okay, because these mountains oftentimes in scriptures represents major governments and kingdoms, all right, and America is the highest government, the highest kingdom right now, okay, all right. It is at this moment in time the top nation in the world, which is, you know, which the Lord exalted, all right, America, okay, because the Lord rules in the kingdom of men, all right. So the Lord will throw down America to show its power, okay, because America's built off lies, robbery, rape, death, murder, massacre, robbery, ill-gotten gains, man. This goes on, all right. Okay, so shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles, man. And that's what we've been doing. Okay, and that's teaching and prophesying the scriptures. All right, as well as exposing Esau's lies. Okay, that's what his kingdom was established on. Right, and then eventually we will be brought, to these governing officials at some point. Even into their court system. And they will seize particular brothers, and we're gonna have to prophesy. All right. Let's get Matthew chapter 10 and verse 18, the words of Yahushua. And it says, "And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles." Okay, so this will take place, man. But the Spirit of the Lord will be with us, Lord willing. Part of the elect. So when you get the Greek word for testimony, it's Strong's G3142. It's pronounced
Strong's G3142. Marturian. Marturian.
And even looking at that word, the first 5 letters, that's where you get the word martyr. Okay, so you're gonna have brothers that are gonna be thrown into prison. Certain brothers will be beheaded for the testimony, for a witness. Like it says down here, testimony, witness, to be testified, testified once, witness it says 4 times, testimony 15 times. Let's get the root word, and that's a strong G3144 number. Okay, concordance number, and it's pronounced, well, Martus.
Strong's G3144. Martus. Martus.
It says a witness in a legal sense, an historical sense of one who's a spectator of anything, e.g. a contest, example. In an ethical sense, those who, after this example, have proved the strength and genuineness of their faith in Hamashiach by undergoing a violent death. That's explained it right there. Okay, that's just explained it right there, and it backs up what I just mentioned before about certain brothers being martyred and things like that. Wow, that said it well. Okay, so Matthew chapter 10 verse 18 again, "And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. For it is not you that speak, but the Spirit of your Father, which speaketh in you." That's right, man. So we ain't gonna have to, necessarily worry and and baffle of what we're gonna say, man, because the Spirit of the Lord is gonna guide our mouths in that time. Okay. Okay. So it's what we're preparing our minds for, spiritually, mentally. Okay, but ultimately the Lord controls all things. Okay, ultimately the Lord controls all things, man. Right. So Isaiah chapter 13, we'll go to verse 3. It says, "I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, and even them that rejoice in my highness." Okay, now continue on. "The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Adawan Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai of hosts, mustereth the host of the battle." Verse 5, "They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land." Okay, so when you go back to verse 3, it mentions sanctified ones. Okay, so those sanctified ones, right, those mighty ones, as it says, it's talking about the thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay, alright, because in verse 4, like it says, where it says, "like as of a great people," alright, it's not actually talking about people, it's just describing the missiles as mighty ones, which will destroy the whole landmass of America. Okay, an innumerable amount of ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, alright, rendering America a great lake of fire, alright, along with the chariots of the Lord. Okay, alright, so eventually, once the fire is down, it will become a giant wasteland of desert that no human will ever inhabit. Okay, never inhabit that area again, man. There'll just be desert creatures there. Okay, yeah, man. So the whole area of America decimated. All right, and guess what? It'll be a monument of remembrance. All right, because when you exalt wickedness, that's what happens. You get thrown down. Right? Instead of following Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, so the Lord is putting that spirit of war on these people, on these nations to fight right now, man. Because we are in a time of war. You know, there's a time and place for everything, like it mentions in Ecclesiastes. Time of peace and a time of war, and we're in that time of war. Okay. Look at this subheading on the day of the Lord, right? Verse 6. How you, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Verse 8. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames, man. Okay, so the proud will be humbled in that day, man. These people will be afraid. You know, Scripture talks about men's hearts. I might need to put apostrophe in, maybe even in. Is it failing them for fear? Luke chapter 21 verse 26. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken, man. Okay, you know, so people are gonna literally have heart attacks, man. Right? These heart attacks, they're gonna be plagued with things like that, man. These people, you know, when they see the Lord, all right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, returning in a fathership, a so-called UFO, with a host of angels, including Michael the archangels, man, these people will be basically pissing themselves, man. All right, and that's because they will be destroyed. He's also going to put the spirit on Esau. You know, like it mentioned about the war in heaven. You know, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels. All right, okay. So whether Esau wants to do it or not, he's going to fight the Lord. All right, and he's going to lose, of course. They will be destroyed. All right, will be destroyed. You know, we'll get wisdom of Solomon, and we'll close out, man. All right, wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 7. All right. And it reads, So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and destruction of the enemies. Verse 8, For wherewith you did punish our adversaries, by the same you did glorify us, whom you had called. Okay, so the Lord will take down the wicked man and deliver his elect. Okay, the elect, like the scriptures mentioned, will be scarcely saved. All right, you know, they'll be like, wow, am I really going to make it? You know, you know, until they get beamed up in the chariots, man. Okay, let's get the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 2, and just close out there. And it reads, you know, and this is the prayer of Habakkuk, all right? It says, O Yahweh, I've heard your speech and was afraid. O Yahweh, revive your work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known. In wrath, remember mercy, man. And we hope that, you know, the Lord have mercy on us, man, on that day. And even leading up to that day, man. We really sincerely hope he has mercy upon us, man. Okay? So, you know, this has been Pentagon orders 2,000 more US troops to be ready to deploy to the Middle East, man. Okay, so we're in at wartime. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I pray this lesson was edifying. Until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect.